Have you ever found yourself lost in the maze of a narcissist's mind, a place where sweet words mask cunning manipulation, where genuine emotions are exploited as tools for control? You feel drained, hurt, and as if you're slowly disappearing in that toxic relationship. It's time to break free from those invisible chains, reclaim your freedom, and write your own life story. And there's one kind of revenge that a narcissist will never see coming. Silent, yet immensely powerful. It's silence, your inner strength, and above all a fulfilled and joyous life without their presence. In this video, let's uncover 5 key strategies to achieve this silent revenge. 5 ways to heal your wounds, rise stronger, and shine brilliantly on your own path. Let's embark on this incredible journey together. Mastering your emotions. Narcissists are predators who constantly crave your attention. They enjoy watching you lose control, because in those moments they feel powerful and validated. They will use every tactic to provoke, manipulate, and push you to react, to suffer, to appease, or even to grovel before them. The more intense your reactions, the more satisfaction they derive, believing in their ability to control you. And that is when you've fallen into their trap. Losing your composure is akin to handing them the key to manipulate and control you. When a narcissist is in the mood to stir up conflict or drama, everything they say is a trap, whether they're attacking your self-esteem, dismissing your worth, or making you feel misunderstood to push you into defending yourself. It all serves one purpose: to make you feel inferior, terrible, ashamed, rejected, or insecure. Once they've broken you down, they feel better about themselves. So, when they lash out and begin hurling toxic strategies your way, don't take the bait. And don't set traps for them either. There's no reason to reason with a narcissist, especially in those moments. And any interaction on your part gives them more fuel to drag you down. Remember, in every discussion, a narcissist's goal isn't to resolve issues or determine who's right or wrong. It's simply to drain your energy and feed their distorted ego. They'll dig up incidents from 6 months ago or justify their wrongdoings with absurd excuses. They'll say anything to maintain a sense of control and make you feel crazy. Become emotionally unreachable. When dealing with a narcissist, imagine yourself as an emotionless machine, devoid of feelings or personal thoughts, simply functioning without reacting emotionally. I know this is challenging, especially since narcissists are masters of manipulation, adept at understanding and exploiting your emotions. They know every button to press and won't hesitate to do so until they get the emotional reaction they crave. The moment you react, their mission is accomplished. To break their script, disable your emotional buttons, take a deep breath, stay calm, remain silent, and don't show any reaction. Your indifference will render them powerless, eventually causing them to abandon their game. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to explain to a narcissist how much they've hurt you. It's like banging your head against a wall. If you must communicate with a narcissist, one strategy I recommend, and many have found effective, is the grey rock method. Curious about it? Let me illustrate. Imagine walking along a stream and noticing a grey rock. It blends in, indistinguishable among countless other rocks. Ever wanted to avoid drawing a narcissist's attention? If so, becoming a grey rock might be a good idea. Of course, humans can't literally turn into rocks, but the grey rock concept refers to maintaining an emotionally neutral state. When you apply this method, you block a narcissist's manipulation by keeping all interactions as bland and monotonous as possible. During conversations, adopt a neutral demeanor and respond with short, dry phrases like, "Yes, I understand, thank you." A flat, emotionless tone will make them feel like they're punching a cloud. Additionally, when texting, avoid writing lengthy messages, Never send long paragraphs or pages. Keep your messages to one sentence at most, as every word or phrase can be twisted, distorted, and weaponized against you. They'll sift through hundreds of words, find one that suits their narrative, and latch onto it to counter-attack, leaving you lost in your own conversation. To prevent this, craft your messages like sharp arrows, concise and to the point. Eliminate all unnecessary details and focus on essential information. Don't give them opportunities to nitpick, distort, or misinterpret your words. You should only engage with a narcissist when absolutely necessary, like if they're a family member or a boss. Enter these conversations without expectations. Don't anticipate any newfound understanding or hope for kind treatment. When they disrespect you, avoid arguing or defending yourself. Instead, firmly state, "I will leave this conversation until you can speak to me respectfully," then immediately walk away. This not only safeguards your self-respect, but is also the safest strategy to avoid emotional harm, or even physical aggression they might inflict. If walking away isn't an option, try this second approach. Regardless of what they say, respond with a simple "okay." By doing so, you're winning. For instance, if they ignore your messages for days and you text them something like, "Why are you being so cruel? I've always been kind to you," you're giving them exactly what they want, an emotional reaction. By completely ignoring them or responding with one word or a brief sentence, you'll drive them mad. They'll feel unimportant. And more importantly, you liberate yourself from their mental torment. When a narcissist reacts negatively toward you, resist the urge to defend yourself. The more defensive you become, the more ammunition you give them to attack you further. Narcissists will exploit any explanation you provide to continue their assault. For example, if they accuse you of being disorganized, calmly reply, "You're probably right." That's all that's needed for a conversation with a narcissist. Remember, when they attack, their ultimate goal is to elicit an emotional reaction. By staying neutral, you deprive them of the desired outcome, and in doing so, you reclaim your peace and power. Maintain assertiveness. Arguing with a narcissist is like stepping into an emotional quagmire. Every attempt to clarify an issue is met with their skilled manipulation, pulling you deeper. They don't use words to build dialogue, but to attack, excuse, and evade responsibility. From circular justifications and subtle blame-shifting to fabricating stories or dragging others into the mix, they turn every discussion into a draining spiral of tension and exhaustion. Their goal is not to find a solution, but to wear you down until you give up. For example, imagine you're asking a narcissistic coworker to contribute more actively to a team project. You've been handling an unfair share of the workload and want responsibilities to be distributed more evenly. This is a perfectly reasonable request, but as soon as you raise the issue, they redirect the conversation. They might say something like, "I've been working extremely hard already. What more do you want?" Or, "You always like to criticize me. Last time I helped and nobody mentioned it." They could escalate further, involving other team members by claiming you're unfair or too demanding, forcing you into a defensive position. Instead of addressing the main issue, the work distribution, you're now stuck defending your intentions and explaining that you didn't mean to criticize them. In such scenarios, trying to justify or clear up misunderstandings usually leads you into a futile loop of meaningless arguments. The narcissist will keep redirecting the conversation, trapping you in the maze of disputes they've skillfully created. Amid these tactics, the only way to escape is to maintain clarity and assertiveness. You could say, "I expect us to share the responsibilities in this project equally. If you're unwilling to cooperate, I'll need to escalate this issue to our supervisor for resolution." This isn't a threat, but a clear statement of your boundaries. After that, end the conversation without engaging in further justifications or rebuttals. The key is not to let your emotions be swayed by their words. By standing firm and refusing to engage in their manipulative arguments, you not only protect yourself, but also disrupt the manipulative game they're trying to play. Clarity and calmness are your tools for breaking free from their emotional vortex. Set boundaries and follow through. The next step in dealing with a narcissist is establishing boundaries. However, it's important to understand that setting boundaries doesn't mean confronting them with declarations like, "Don't do that to me," or "You'll pay the price." Instead, think of boundaries as a solid wall that protects your inner self. These boundaries are built on principles you establish and consistently uphold to prevent anyone from encroaching on your emotions and personal values. To enforce these boundaries effectively, you must live by the principles you've set, showing no hesitation or compromise. For example, if a narcissist frequently belittles you with unnecessary criticism, you need to set a boundary that no one is allowed to damage your self-esteem. When they start criticizing, instead of arguing, calmly say, "I'm uncomfortable with how you're speaking to me. If we can't have a respectful conversation, I will leave." If they persist, follow through by leaving the conversation to protect your emotional well-being. If they constantly demand you prioritize their needs over your time or preferences, establish a boundary that you won't let others dictate your time or decisions. In this case, you can respond, "I understand that's important to you, but my schedule doesn't allow for it right now. I won't be able to do that at this moment." No matter how much they plead or pressure you, stand firm. These examples illustrate that setting and maintaining boundaries doesn't require loud words or threatening attitudes. Instead, it requires confidence, determination, and self-respect. By being consistent in enforcing these boundaries, you not only protect your mental and emotional health, but also send a clear message that their manipulative tactics will not work on you. Healing and living a happy life without them. The sweetest revenge against a narcissist doesn't lie in words or retaliatory actions, but in healing yourself and living a joyful, fulfilling life without them. Imagine this. Someone who once saw you as a satellite orbiting their ego, as a source of fuel for their grandiose but fragile sense of self, now has to witness you shining brilliantly. You become independent, confident, and stronger than ever. Not reliant, no longer easily manipulated. That is the most powerful blow to their delicate ego, which they go to great lengths to protect. When you focus on healing the emotional wounds they caused, caring for yourself physically and mentally, and building a meaningful, fulfilling life, you're breaking free from the shadow they once cast over you. Their attempts at control and manipulation become meaningless. They no longer occupy the center of your thoughts, emotions, or actions. Instead, you become the master of your own life, the one who defines your happiness and success. Think about the joy you regain after those painful days, the laughter, the peace in your soul, and the healthy, meaningful relationships you cultivate. Your personal and professional achievements, no matter how big or small, are undeniable proof that they have failed. They failed not only in keeping you under their control, but also in determining your worth. Your independence and the happiness you create for yourself are the clearest statements that you have risen above it all. Let your growth, your freedom from toxic ties, and your meaningful life be the most powerful response. No loud words or vengeful actions are necessary, only your radiance shining brighter than ever. When you smile at yourself in the mirror, or when your loved ones feel happiness from your presence, that is when you truly win. I have overcome, and I am thriving without you. This is not just a silent declaration, but a powerful affirmation to yourself that you deserve a beautiful life, one that no narcissist can overshadow. With each step forward, each small joy you find, you're creating a life they can never control, and that is the kind of revenge they could never anticipate. The journey of breaking free from a narcissist's shadow and rediscovering yourself is never easy, but trust that you have the strength to do it. By applying the 5 strategies we've explored, you are gradually healing your emotional wounds, building confidence, and creating a truly happy life. Remember, the sweetest revenge isn't in criticism or retaliation. It's in your growth and happiness. When you shine brightly in your independent, fulfilling life, that is the strongest blow to the fragile ego of a narcissist. Be patient with yourself, love yourself, and trust in your healing journey. You deserve a life filled with joy, peace, and love. Thank you for watching this video. Share your story and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to receive more valuable content in the future.